Oh my god, this is awesome! Oh, I am so excited to bring this news to you today, guys, because my goodness, this is going to make a humongous impact on today's charging infrastructure. Well, tomorrow's. Actually, it hasn't got on the ground yet, but oh, am I so excited to bring you this news from Walmart, because Walmart is officially putting in chargers at not just a handful of their stores, but all of them, including their Sam's Club locations if you shop at Sam's Club. But I don't have a Sam's Club in my area, and so yeah, it's not particularly newsworthy to me. But oh my goodness, does this absolutely completely change the charging landscape and the charging infrastructure that we have to work with. I'm just so excited. Let's cue the intro to give you the details. Alright, so a little while ago, Mr. Tom Malogny from State of Charge was able to get an exclusive report from Walmart that Walmart is actually going to be in the process of installing chargers at basically all of their locations. And why is this absolutely earth-shattering news? I mean, I genuinely believe this news is even more newsworthy than Iona. Iona is awesome, don't get me wrong, because Iona is doing exactly what the corridors need by providing actual charging stations with canopies, proper amenities, restrooms that are available 24/7. It's important that we have this type of infrastructure, and it really does not exist today. I mean, yeah, we basically have corridor networks, well, sort of pretty much figured out. You can basically go anywhere in a Tesla, and thanks to Electrify America, while it's not 100% true everywhere you go, it's not impossible to take an EV anywhere at this point. It's just difficult in a few locations. We're going to focus on that in a little bit. But the problem with all of these corridor networks and all the chargers you'll find along them is a lot of the amenities don't operate 24/7, which means you don't have restrooms if you're traveling in the middle of the night, which is a problem, especially because I know my bladder needs to go every 150 miles, and if I can't pee, well, we got problems. And just, yeah, bad amenities, charging stations located super far off the highway. You got to drive super deep into a town just to charge the car. I mean, yeah, bring some exploration and such into it, but most people, when it comes to traveling long distance, only want to just pull off a very short distance from the highway, pull into the charger, get their juice, use the bathroom, grab some snacks, and then after they're done charging, just get right back on their way. They don't want to explore the traffic in a new city in an area they're not familiar with and find some Walmart parking lot or something like that. A lot of people just want to be in and out as fast as possible, and Iona is working to fix this, because today's charging infrastructure is just not particularly optimized for that. But yeah, while the Iona stuff has always been exciting, Walmart's news is even more exciting to me, because currently Iona is in the process of bringing the proper amenities through these corridor networks, which is a good thing. The problem is they're, at the moment, at least in this current period in their stages of development, they're primarily focusing only on major interstate corridors, which makes sense. Walmart, however, is going to build out a network that's basically at every single one of their Walmart locations. And why is this big news? I live in the middle of nowhere in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. We're like 3 hours, a 3-hour drive from our closest interstate. Heck, from our closest freeway. It's all 2-lane highways up here. It sucks. And because we're basically in the middle of nowhere, the charging infrastructure up here happens to be rather lackluster. The UP only has 3 Tesla superchargers, one in Escanaba, one in Sault Ste. Marie, and one in Marquette, and that's it. Luckily, they're all version 3s, which is great, but still, only 3 supercharger locations, and everywhere else is either crappy charge point stations. Well, not crappy, it's just wimpy and weak. They don't provide a lot of power, and that's exactly what we have here in Houghton. 2 charge point stations that can get you a maximum of 125 kilowatts if your vehicle can support it, because the cables are limited to 200 amps. Yeah, it sucks. The most power you're pretty much going to get from any non-Tesla charger around here is basically 175 kilowatts from the NLX chargers, which I have no idea if those are even operational today, because NLX decided, we're just going to completely exit the North American market. So screw the UP. It's not like it matters having an actual charging infrastructure for non-Tesla vehicles up here. Oh, I was real mad when NLX decided to leave, because yeah, it's like half the public chargers that are not Tesla are NLX NLX chargers. The one in Copper Harbor, NLX. The one in Crystal Falls, NLX. And since NLX basically left the market, are these chargers working? I don't know. But yeah, our charging infrastructure up here is absolutely terrible and it needs a ton of improvement. And this is where Walmart comes in, because while no, we're pretty far from big cities with like Best Buys or Targets. Yes, we don't even have a Target in this area. We do, however, happen to have a Walmart. I can drive 5 miles from my house. There's a Walmart in town. And if Walmart's putting in high power chargers everywhere, this will fix a massive problem that a lot of rural communities, like where I live in, for example, now we're actually finally going to get decent high power charging stations, and we don't have to wait for Tesla or Electrify America or Iona to come up here because they're not likely to gain as much of a profit up here. For one, our electricity is actually scary expensive compared to other places in the nation. And at the same time, despite that we have a lot of EV drivers around here in Houghton, which really shocks me. I'm genuinely shocked to see the amount of EVs in town. They all charge at home. They don't use the public infrastructure because they're using the correct method of charging. They're charging at home like they should. So that means our charging infrastructure, especially through the winter time, goes heavily underutilized. But in the summer and fall, come tourist season, those chargers get slammed. And it's only 125 kilowatts if your car supports it. Oh, but when the station's full, everybody's only getting 50 kilowatts. It's a painfully slow wait. But with Walmart coming in with, they're using, as of right now, Alpitronics, and I hear they're also going to start installing ABB equipment as well. Hopefully it's reliable ABB equipment, because last I checked, ABB does not take the heat extremely well. Luckily, here in Michigan's Northern Peninsula, it doesn't get super freaking hot here. If anything, it gets super cold, and I do know ABBs work really well in the cold, though I still prefer Alpitronics, if I'm being honest. Alpitronics, just, you cannot kill those things even if you try. But oh, is it awesome. They're working on bringing 400 kilowatt charging to basically all of their store locations. That includes rural areas such as Houghton, Michigan, where I live. This is awesome. Now, a big problem that a lot of people in the rural areas that cause them to not want to get an EV is, oh, the charging infrastructure away from the cities is just not great. And yeah, that's true. Most of the charging infrastructure today is either found along major corridors, which again, I'm like 3 hours from, or in big cities, which again, I'm also roughly 3 hours from. And so when you get outside of the cities into rural America, finding those options is just really, really hard. And Walmart has actually provided statistics saying that 90% of Americans live less than 10 miles from a Walmart. I just happen to be one of them. So this is excellent news for two reasons. One, it provides a high power charging infrastructure into rural areas like Michigan's Upper Peninsula, the Dakotas, or Montana, or Wyoming. Yeah, it provides infrastructure for rural communities, and also for those who happen to live in apartment complexes and can't charge at home. It also provides a city alternative that could actually potentially help clear up the charging infrastructure that's more optimized for corridor travel, especially if Walmart's going to compete by offering a lower price than what most charging is offering today. Like, for example, out in certain states, Electrify America is forced to charge like 64 cents a kilowatt hour, which is absolutely insane. You're getting close to like the same cost it would be to fill up a gas car at that point. Walmart plans on actually offering a decent value, and it's because they have the cash to do this. They already have the cash to sink a ton of money into putting Alpitronics and ABBs into the ground. And so in the meantime, yeah, they can absorb any potential losses while waiting to recoup the cost for all of this equipment. And so yeah, the two primary benefits I can think of are it provides infrastructure in rural areas, and for those who can't charge at home, they'll have a relatively affordable, it's not going to be home charging cheap because it's DC charging that requires some serious power, especially if Walmart's putting in 400 kilowatt chargers. It does enable relatively affordable charging still for those who can't charge at home. And because most people in town are likely to go and charge at Walmart when they're doing their grocery runs, those who are just traveling through, passing by, they don't have to go to Walmart's anymore, especially when Iona's fully built out. out. Instead, they can go to the Iona station where it's optimized for you get in, you get your juice, you get your bathroom breaks on, you get your snacks, and then you're out. Awesome! This is 100% good news. Now, what does this mean for Electrify America? Because if there's one thing we know about Electrify America, they put a lot of their chargers in Walmart parking lots. To my knowledge, Walmart says they're not getting rid of EA's chargers. They're still going to partner with EA to put in charging stations in their parking lots. So if your local Walmart does happen to have an EA station, I wouldn't expect it to go away. If anything, Walmart might provide additional funding to actually help keep it going. But if your Walmart doesn't currently have any charging, like mine, for example, well, we're going to get some chargers put in soon, which is absolutely exciting for everyone. Yeah, to everyone who keeps thinking that the EV industry is failing and is dying and is declining, with our charging infrastructure finally getting to where it needs to be, Iona is exploding. They currently got 200 permits listed and getting ready to break ground on new locations. They are not slowing down their ramp up process, and with Walmart coming in to join it, that's also a big deal. And now that we finally have access to Alpitronics and Chempower, very reliable equipment that is tested and proven, this infrastructure is only getting better from here out. And that, in theory, should really help this chicken and egg problem that we're having with EV adoption versus charging infrastructure growth. We're finally breaking this chicken and egg problem. The infrastructure is coming, and once the infrastructure is officially built out, I also would expect EV sales to continue to rise from here, which is exciting. So, thank you, Walmart, for doing this, especially for rural places like here. And thank you guys for watching. Do me a favor and interact with the stuff below. My name is DeWolf, Random Alpha, signing out.